What's going on, guys? This is Carl with the Racerred channel, out here riding my 2008 Yamaha R1. It's a beautiful day. I'm gonna go watch some 8U softball my daughter's playing. Been practicing her swinging batting skills, trying to get her to focus on the target, the ball, and yeah, she's been doing really good, so I'm excited to go watch. It's a beautiful day out. I decided to throw on my coat though, just to make sure, because I don't like to be cold, not even a little bit. Happy Easter to you guys. Yesterday was Easter. Whether you're the pagan side or the Christian side, it's kind of weird how those two have mixed. Easter, the pagan god of fertility, would switch from a bunny to a bird in the springtime, and the Easter is celebrated in the spring to represent change. And also, for us Christians, we have integrated that into the resurrection of Jesus. So, in case anybody was wondering why you hide eggs and color eggs and a bunny finds them, or hides them, I should say. It's kind of a weird tradition that a bunny would hide them. Yeah, all of our holidays pretty much have some weird pagan beginnings, and a lot of it is just a mixture of two societies. I don't know everything about it. This is just something that I researched when I was in my early 20s. And there's a lot of kind of obscurity, or it's kind of hard to find a lot of information on it because it was so long ago. But if you go to Christian sources, they all say it was because the pagans were being converted. The pagans wanted to keep some of their traditions, and so they decided to become Christian with some of their pagan religions mixed in there. That's according to the Christian side of things. If you look at the secular readings on that, it reads a lot different. So there's multiple sources you got to go to really get the full story, and really it's still broken up, because the other story is that basically the two societies just melded into each other, and the Christians and the pagans weren't necessarily converting anybody. They were just hanging out together, and their cultures kind of welded together. Who knows? But I do know it's fun. It's a fun tradition, and really you're worshiping whoever you have in your heart and mind when you're doing the thing. Just because you're coloring eggs doesn't mean you can't worship Jesus while you're doing it. That's what's funny. You can do whatever you want, guys. Just an interesting fact about history. Source-wise, I mean, a lot of our history it's kind of foggy. It's really foggy. I've done a lot of reading on this type of stuff, and it's hard to really know the truth because somehow we've lost a lot of the factual stuff. There's evidence of things, but there isn't really a fact that's placed in stone, a reality that's in stone. So a lot of it's just kind of reading things and then kind of piecing them together however you want to piece it together. There's a lot of really good sources around the internet these days. I mean, you can go to YouTube and find subject matter experts on just about anything, which is awesome. I said that before, but man, you can go find a doctor, scientist, a philosopher. You can go find a rocket scientist. I mean, you can go find whoever you want to find on YouTube and listen to them speak and get an absolute expert's opinion on just about anything. That's how I've gotten a lot of my opinions on philosophical stuff, on religious topics. Like, I'll find an expert on a specific church and listen to them speak about it, and then I'll find another expert on the other side of that argument and listen to them speak about it. And a lot of my opinions, like, I don't know, people have a hard time accepting anything outside of their echo chamber. They just want to hear their own little version of things, but I pretty much since my 20s, I've gone to complete different sides of the spectrum to find information. And honestly, there are some guys out there that have the real facts on things. And if you don't listen to those voices, then you end up getting into this echo chamber, whether it's a religious one or otherwise, and you end up just being smart on dumb, incorrect topics. It's unfortunate that it happens, but you can become really smart on just stuff that's incorrect, and then you don't know anything outside of that. So when somebody mentions what really happened, you're like, what? What do you mean? This is what happened. I know this to be what happened because I've read this particular book over and over. Well, there's more to life than that particular book. That book could be wrong. And I am definitely wrong a lot of the time. But it's cool to look at all of the different angles of each topic and try to convey some of it, at least while riding a motorcycle, which can be difficult. Although a street bike is a lot easier to do it on than a dirt bike, because, you know, honestly, I can string sentences together on a street bike and not have to be bouncing around, my legs flying off the peg, getting stabbed in the ankle, and then a stick flies up from my front tire, hits me in the face, bushes whacking me from both sides. Meanwhile, I'm trying to piece together a sentence in a coherent way that you can understand, and it's not always the easiest. And I'm not always the brightest, so it just depends on the day if I can actually do it or not. And nobody's claiming I'm the most intelligent being on earth anyways. Even on my good days, I'm just a regular dude. And I really appreciate the fact that I can come out here and ride my motorcycle, talk to you guys, not have to go to the places that I've had to go to. I've talked about that in the past. Like, I don't have to put on my uniform anymore, don't have to put on my utility belt. I can just come out here, ride my motorcycle, and it's such an amazing feeling. I have talked about going back into the military, but after a lot of thought, it took me about 3 weeks of thinking. I mean, I was stressed for that 3 weeks, to be honest. Make sure that guy's stopping. You can never trust somebody to stop. But yeah, I thought about it for 3 weeks and came to the conclusion that I will not join, at least for now. This is something that I was 90% sure I was going to do less than a week and a half ago, so my mind changed 180 degrees, basically because I really thought back on how much I missed out on all the family events and all that stuff, and I really thought on the future and how much I would miss out in the future. And it's not a compromise I'm willing to make anymore. The adventure would be great. I love a good adventure, and I still have a lot of great adventures going to happen, but they will be with the mindset of I've got to be there for the family 100% moving forward, and not be overseas doing something I don't even believe in, which is exactly what I was doing last time. Fighting people that I didn't want to fight, and causing a lot of death and harm on people who really didn't need it. So it doesn't feel like you're going very fast. So right now I think I'm doing the speed limit, but the increase of 7 miles per hour, which is what I just did in about a second, was just a twitch of the hand, just a little increase in throttle. Into the future, I don't think this kind of thing's going to exist anymore. I don't think we're going to have the ability to control our own destiny and go where we truly want to go with machines like this. I would say within 10 or 20 years, we're going to have machines that we just hop on and they just take us to places. I think we'll still have tracks for motorcycles like this, or race cars, or fast muscle cars, anything old essentially. But I think the roads are going to be mainly controlled by automation, and the cars are just going to go a certain speed. You're not going to be able to speed, not going to be able to go where you need to go. Like right now, if an emergency took place, I could flat out rip with this thing and go really, really fast. In the future, I don't think you're going to have that option. I think you might be able to push an emergency button and go like 10 over or something, but I don't think you're going to be able to go and do what you want. And that's a real problem. I think that's going to be a real problem in terms of freedom and liberty. And the argument is always going to be, even though your tax dollars pay for these roads, it's going to be, oh well, driving is a privilege, not a right, which is absolute garbage. Anybody who says that should not have a badge, because it's false. You got the Constitution guarantees you free travel across the country, and the only mode of travel across this country currently really is on these roads. You have a right to be on these roads. That's my opinion. That's why I can't be a police officer. I'm not gonna barf that crap into your face. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you on the next video. I'm almost to my destination. Peace.